So we've had the advice from Ofqual, what next for Maths Squad and its support for schools.
I think we're still waiting to see what the exam board support for schools will be, but we will do our best to anticipate that and provide some of the resources that we think will be required by schools to show evidence of their students' progress and their students' attainment.
I think what a lot of schools will be looking for, a lot of heads of department, I think they'll be looking for some sort of external validation throughout the process. And obviously the exam boards will have to provide some of that, but whether they have the numbers, the sheer infrastructure to be able to do that. So having that sort of critical friend, if you like, which Maths Squad could potentially be for a lot of our schools.
I think that Ofqual have said that the exam boards will provide different measures of support, and we need to anticipate what that will be so that schools can show the progress their students have made and make a sensible assessment of what their grade might be for when those have to be submitted.
In addition, of course, all the schools that have already accessed the Maths Squad service have seen from the analytics that we've provided that we're also a critical friend effectively. We come up with recommendations and ideas that can be implemented to help with that. And in this process, we intend to extend that to cover this as well. So once we know a bit more about what the exam boards are actually going to put out there, we will make sure that we offer that service to our Maths Squad schools.
So what advice would you give to maths departments this week about what they should do?
I think if it was me personally, I think I would be thinking about what evidence do we already, I would be almost doing an audit of what evidence we already have to see how accurate is the current picture we have of our year 11. So some schools will have more than one mock. For instance, the year 11s that I'm working with, we have 2 secure mocks done and dusted, delivered and analysed. Really reliable evidence. Okay, but in addition to that, we've also got a lot of what I would call supplementary evidence where I can see an improvement in their problem solving skills over a period of time. So assessment objective 3 type questions, because that's been an area where there was a weakness and I've specifically targeted that. And even from the remote learning side of it, some of the stuff that they've submitted shows an improvement over time in this specific area that we targeted. So these sorts of things. So I think in a nutshell, it would be how accurate is the picture you currently have? How well can you evidence that current picture? And do you have any supplementary evidence that can show an improvement over a period of time? And if you have that, start thinking about the best way of pulling that all together to present. Okay, I mean, I think obviously we'll have to wait for what format the exam boards want it in, but it's probably a good way to be thinking right now.
And what advice would you give to maths departments in relation to what they should have done by Easter?
Well, I think by Easter, I mean, obviously they'll know what the exam boards, the material the exam boards are going to release. So that will obviously affect the decision making. But certainly you must know by Easter, you must have some form of secure assessment so you have an accurate snapshot of where they are at a certain point in time. You have to have that. I mean, you can't not have that.